How's it going, volleyball fans? Braden Sprint here with Davis Ransom at it again. A couple of weeks off because we've been busy with, someone's been coaching volleyball and I've been, doing my own thing. But anyway, we had Christian in La Jolla today. You're the coach of Christian. From a coach's perspective, how was it for the Patriots today?
Well, I thought we hung in there for as long as we could, but La Jolla just kind of stretched it out, and then kind of expanded their lead at the end. I thought we actually played pretty well for about half to two-thirds or three-quarters of a game, and then they would just kind of outlast us and finish strong.
Well, La Jolla's a top-ranked team in San Diego. What can you say? You've seen them firsthand a couple times now. What do you say about La Jolla and what Coach Drobik's done over there for the Vikings?
Well, she's got them playing very solid ball control, disciplined style of play. They're always getting swings. They've sort of become more balanced all around. They don't need one player. They have a bunch of different players they can set. Really solid. So, they're a good team for sure.
Before we get into the top 10, let's talk about this weekend, a big tournament this weekend for San Diego schools. And San Diego's been doing really well playing outside the section so far this year. What did you see? You watched the tournament. What did you notice from some of the games this weekend?
Well, Cathedral looked great. They got Maddie Ensley. She's taking a ton of swings, but she's killing the ball. She's just huge for them. They played some of their matches without Peyton Wilhite, who was, I think, just... I don't know where she was, but she wasn't at the tournament. So, but Maddie can carry a big load on that team. And then they also had some offense from Lindsay Miller and Taimani Toilolo. So they just a really balanced team. They looked great. And then Bishop's always competitive. They always seem to just be hanging around. Really well coached. They were winning matches that, you didn't always expect them to win, but they were doing that. And then the other team I thought that looked great out there was Classical Academy. I hadn't really seen them play much this year, but they're very solid. They're a very low error team, good serve and pass team, and they got a huge hammer in the middle for them, as well as a couple other nice pins and positions around them. So, I thought it was a great experience. I was super stoked to see all those teams.
Let's get into our top 10, and it was just posted not too long ago on our Instagram. Sage Creek cracking our top 10 for the first time. We haven't talked about them a lot. What can you say about Sage Creek?
They've just kind of been hanging around, but the longer you hang around at this point in the year, you're doing something really well. They keep winning all the matches they're supposed to. They've upset some really good teams, and I think they deserve to be where they are for sure.
They're 27-7 on the year, and we were talking about strength of schedule earlier in the year, but now at this point, like you were saying, you're winning more and more games. Maybe it's time to start paying attention to a team like Sage Creek. So shout out to them for cracking our top 10. From there on, we got Canyon Crest Academy at 9. Kind of a struggling season so far for Canyon Crest, a team that was in our top 4 last year for the entire season. What has been the difference this year compared to last year?
Well, they lost quite a few seniors last year, and I really think the biggest difference has been setter. Although their younger setter's good, Gracie Wood, she's a very good setter. They just had a stud last year who could create a lot of different scoring opportunities for them. And now it's kind of just set the ball to the hitter type volleyball, which is they're still doing well. And I still think they could really ramp up and play some awesome volleyball here towards the end of the year. But they've also been playing a tough schedule, so you got to bring it all the time.
Yeah, Canyon Crest Academy is playing probably one of the toughest schedules in San Diego County. So they come in at number 9. Number 8 is Del Norte. Number 7, Classical Academy. And number 6, this La Jolla team right here. Any of those teams stick out to you they want to comment on?
Well, I think it's the top 3 right now. Torrey, Cathedral, and La Costa. To me, those are the top 3 teams in the county, and I think, honestly, any of them could beat any of the other ones. I really do. La Costa Canyon is a very good team. I saw them play twice this weekend. They looked really great, and tons of weapons, and, Cathedral's looking prime right now, and then Torrey's always tough to beat, so I'm really excited for the end to see. Last year was kind of a 2-horse race. This year, I think there's, 3 teams that are right there grouped at the top.
Yeah, so getting a little ahead of ourselves, let's get to the top part of that rankings. Bishop's at number 5, Scripps Ranch 4, LCC 3, Cathedral 2, and Torrey 1. Like you were saying, Davis, and it's so hard to ignore how great these teams are. I can see how you got a little excited for it. But let's talk about a little bit of detail. Nationally and in state, these teams are ranked really high. If we get into it, Scripps Ranch 120 in the nation. You think about it, well, it doesn't seem very good on paper, but if you think about all the teams in the country, that's unbelievable. They're 24 in state, a top top 25 team. And then you get to the top 3 in the county. La Costa Canyon, 55 in the country. Again, it doesn't look great on paper, but when you start thinking about all the volleyball teams that are out there, that's really good as well. Number 9 in the state of California. That's pretty good. But if they're the 3rd team in San Diego, that means there's 2 other teams that are ranked in the top 10 in the state of California here in San Diego, which is unbelievable. Cathedral Catholic comes in at 17 in the country, which is a great job for them. 6 in the state, and then Torrey Pines, the cream of the crop, 6 in the nation and 3 in state. And you said earlier, all 3 of these teams can beat each other.
Absolutely, and oh man, they play such different styles. Torrey loves to run the middle. They're a little bit less pin driven, and Cathedral loves to set the outside, especially to Maddie. They get a lot of offense out of the pipe. And then you also have La Costa Canyons in the 6-2 most of the time, and they spread the ball around to everyone. So it's just really cool, different styles. And I think it'll be a lot of adapting to what the other teams do that will decide whether one team's successful or not, because they're all really equally talented, I think.
What I've noticed covering these games is the difference a year makes. Last year we're talking about Torrey Pines. Is anybody to be able to beat Torrey Pines? This year you got Cathedral and LCC. That it's not that Torrey Pines took a notch down, but you got 2 other teams that just got that much better, and it's great for San Diego volleyball as a whole.
Absolutely. For Cathedral, they've always been good, but with the addition of Maddie Ensley, who's a top player nationally. And like I said, if you get a chance to watch her play, she is incredible. She just destroys the ball. It's just hitting off of people, just rattling everywhere. So to have that top level of a team and then to add another really, really high-level player on top of it, you can understand why Cathedral's just thriving. And then La Costa Canyon, they were just kind of young last year, and they had some injuries. And they got a lot of that crew back. And so they're playing really good, too. And then Torrey is Torrey. Right? And they're always good. They're always reloading. So I think it's going to be a battle at the end of the year. But you never know. Some of those other teams, in the top 10, I think are really battling to get into that open division, and it's going to be a dogfight.
Real quick, I want to talk about one team. They're just outside the top 10, but they're doing pretty well. El Cap out there in Lakeside. Do you have any opinions on El Cap and any analysis of the Vaqueros?
Oh, yeah. So Coach Sato, Eric Sato, the Olympian, always coaching strong teams. He started off at Parker, but he's now out in the East County coaching El Cap. And they got a stud outside hitter that even when you're there, she's hard to stop, named Stephanie Adams. But he's done a nice job of building some pieces around that. Like, she's the type of hitter where you could set her every ball and it'd still be hard for the other team. But he's added a couple nice other pieces, kind of shored up their ball control, and he's got them playing really well. So. Well,
I'm excited. We're getting closer and closer to the playoffs. I know Davis is excited for the playoffs. So for Davis Ransom, I'm Braden Sprennett. We'll see you guys next time on the Side Out Volleyball podcast with Southern California Prep Insight.